everyone, so I'm here today with part 2 of the 10 cards 1 kit video for Hero Arts' April Fiesta kit. And for this card we're going to make a background completely out of fringe. I use the fringe die that's an add-on to the kit, but you can just get the same effect by cutting the paper in this fashion by yourself. And I'm using some cardstock by Lawn Fawn because I really like their colors. And I'm just going to attach a 4 1/4 inch wide strip of fringe to the card base for each of the 6 colors. And when I attach the fringe to the card base, I'm only applying like a thin strip of adhesive tape runner to the top of the fringe so that the bottom can kind of flow freely. Now we're going to work on the main focal panel, and it's going to be a birthday cake, and I use some of the Fiesta yellow ink on the back because I wanted it to look like there's a little bit of a glow coming from the birthday candles. And the frame that is behind the focal point is a piece of black glitter paper by Tonic. We're going to pop up the cake on just one layer of foam tape, and then we're going to use a bunch of images from the main kit to make a pretty little frame around the birthday cake. And I just colored in these images with Copic markers in the R20 range, R20 and 22 for the pinker hues, and then R24, 29 with a little bit of R39 thrown in for the darker roses. I also added the chili pepper. I thought that was cute. And then some of the maracas from the kit and a flower. And now I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place the focal point on the card. Here we're going to make a banner using the banner stamp and die in the kit. And I wanted to show you how to make a dimensional banner using variations of colors with Copic markers. So here I'm using C1, C3, C5, B60, and then C0 and C00. And I'm going to make the center of the banner the lightest and the edges the darkest. And the underside, if you see the 2 little kind of triangles on the bottom left and then on the top right, those I'm going to color in with the darkest Copic marker because those are the pieces that are kind of behind and hidden and would be farthest from us. Okay, so now we're done with the banner. Now I'm taking one of the sentiments from the kit that says "Let's Dance," and I'm going to stamp that in VersaFine ink and then put clear embossing powder over it and heat set it as always. Now I'm using one of the dies from the kit to cut out the banner, and then we are going to place it right underneath the "It's Your Birthday" sentiment. I'm just moving the top of the maraca out of the way so that it can be in front of the banner a little bit. Now I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want to place the focal panel, making sure that all the fringe looks good and is fluffed up a little bit, adding some glitter now to all of the images on the focal panel. And then we're going to take glossy accents and apply that to the little cherries on the cake and then to the candle flames as well as the maracas. And that is going to do it for card number 4. Okay, so let's move on to card 5 in the series. For card 5, we're going to use the confetti die add-on to the kit, and I put that on a piece of cilantro cardstock from Lawn Fawn, and then I stamped out one of the sentiments from the kit 9 times using Lawn Fawn silver gold and rose gold embossing powder. And now we're just going to take each of those sentiment strips and put some foam tape behind it, and then we're going to layer it on top of the card with the rose gold being on the very bottom of the card, and then silver coming next, and then finally gold. And then on top of that, we're going to layer these 4 cactuses or cacti. I don't know what the plural of cactuses is, so either one of those, I guess. So I used, to color them in, I used just 4 markers, but I varied the color to make them either light or dark. So I used YG00, YG17, YG23, and then G17. And I was originally going to arrange them in an ombre effect going from lightest to darkest across the card, but it didn't look quite right, so I changed it so that the 2 darker ones were in the middle and the lighter cactuses, whatever, were on the sides. Now we're going to add another sentiment from the kit, and this is a sentiment that says "Let's party." We're going to, put a clear embossing powder over it, heat set it, and then cut that sentiment down, and then put another piece of foam tape there. And then we're going to add it right to the center of the looking sharp sentiment. So I think that looks pretty cool. And now I'm adding Carnation Pink Nuvo drops as a little embellishment on the Let's Party sentiment. And then we're just going to throw a few in random spots on the card itself, just to kind of add some color. And I like playing with Nuvo drops. That's really what it is. Okay, and now we're going to put glossy accents on the flowers and on the little flower buds on the cacti, you know what I mean. And that's it for card 6, or card 5. Now moving on to card 6. We're going to play with the cactuses again, and I'm going to just stamp them in a random pattern using green leaf ink by Simon Says Stamp. And then I'm going to switch that out and get some jalapeno ink from Lawn Fawn and use another one of the cactus images, and again just stamp that randomly on, this is just right on the card base itself. And then we're going to take the little flourish that is included in the kit and use the Fiesta teal ink and then stamp that in a few different spots. We're going to take the Fiesta red ink that's in the kit and use the little flower stamp and then stamp that randomly as well. And I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like, wherever there's a little hole, I'm filling it in with either a flourish or a flower, whichever fits best. And if I don't get a complete stamp, I don't worry too much about it. It's all right. It's not that big of a deal. And now we are going to work on our main focal panel, and we're going to put some cactuses here, cacti, whatever. And I wanted them to have a little green glow behind them, so I used the yellow and the blue, or yellow and teal Fiesta inks, and combined them so it made kind of like a greenish blue. I'm also using the ribbon that's in the kit, and I wanted to tie a nice bow, but I forgot how to do it, and I'm gonna have to relearn that skill. So here I just did a simple little knot and then cut the ends off, and I'll be back in a future video with better bows. You can count on that. All right, so now let's attach the focal panel to the card base. We're going to pop it up on some foam tape, place it right above the little simple bow, and now we're just going to put the cactuses on the focal point. And for this card, I didn't add any sentiment. I was going to add the whole sentiment, but then I decided let's just leave it blank for now. It's always nice to have some plain cards around so that you can add the whichever sentiment you need. And then of course we're going to go in with Nuvo drops in Midnight Blue and then Caribbean Ocean, just to give the card a little bit more interest, and because I love my Nuvo drops. And then finish it with some glossy accents on the flower buds, on the cactuses, and then on the flower itself. And that's it. So I hope that you enjoyed this part 2 of the Hero Arts 10 cards 1 kit video that I've done this month. I'll be back with part 3 as well as a story time video later in the week. Have a great week, everyone, and I will see you soon.